In today's video, I'm going to be sharing the details of a $19 stock with a $1.2 billion backlog, and for MMTLP, we're going to be looking at a potential major development. So before we get started, let's have a look at what's happening in the market. So from Reuters, we can see here in terms of the Wall Street and the week ahead, the US stocks are going to be tested by the earnings from Tesla and also Netflix, as well as a delayed CPI report. And from the Wall Street Journal, we can see here in terms of the stock market, Trump has stated that extra China tariffs are not sustainable, so that is overall positive news, and one of the reasons why the Dow Jones did rise just before close on the Friday. And from Yahoo Finance, we can see the big winner so far in recent times is certainly gold, and gold has notched up the biggest gain since 2020, as well as news with regard to precious metals, which have been going parabolic as we've just seen, and there was a pullback as also in this week. So let's have a look at ahead now to a huge week for earnings, and I think the big ones are here going to be Coca-Cola, we have Netflix, we also have Tesla, Intel, American Airlines, Ford, and many more. So a huge week for earnings. In terms of stock news, we did share details with regard to Intel. The shares were down, but Intel earnings are also coming and being expected this week. I do expect a beat in that. There was a significant dip in APLD, went down over 10%, and BYD was also under pressure, but I think an interesting call that we added in this Discord was ticker symbol RANI, also known as Rani Therapeutics. They announced a $1 billion collaboration, and the stock was up over 248%, so congratulations to everybody who got in ticker symbol RANI. Another good news also shared, good beat for ASML in terms of earnings, especially with regard to earnings per share, so a good beat there. For AMD, we also had good news as there was an increase in the price tag to $310 from HSBC, as well as and one of the reasons for that was citing strong GPU traction and a growth outlook which is much improved. Before we get started, I'd like to take 1 minute of your time to share more details about the Trading Secrets Discord, and once you join, you'll get access to our daily stock alerts, the weekly watch list shared prior to trading on the Monday, also the $1 Million Challenge, and much more. And for some of the members, I also share my buy and sell alerts live. These include swing trades, and they also include long-term holds. In terms of the weekly watch list, these are our calls that are also recorded weekly with some tremendous returns, including LAES up over 152%, RUM up over 51%, and many more, but obviously not all calls are successful. We've had a $2,000 Discord update, and this includes live breaking news. It also includes why a stock is moving, analyst rating, FDA news, halt, stack pools, and much more to help in your trading decisions. We have a new top ranked stocks DD channel with well over 30 stocks now for number one rated buy stocks. And finally, you can also join us in the famous $1 Million Challenge, where we use compound return investing, looking at 201 trades with a return of 3.5%. Let's have a look at details on a $19 stock with a $1.2 billion backlog, and also just had a significant analyst upgrade. And this is ticker symbol SOUN, also known as SoundHound. And this is a stock that has been featured previously on a number of occasions on the channel when it was trading around about the $2 mark and also around about the $5 mark. So currently trading at $19. There also has been a pullback, so we're going to have a look at that right now. So in terms of the company profile, SoundHound is a company that develops independent AI solutions to enable businesses across the automotive, TV, and many other sectors to develop high-quality conversational experiences to their customers and operate across the world, including the United States. And from recent news here, we can see they've just been recently named as a leader in Everest Group's conversational AI and AI agents. They've also had a once-in-a-generation tech platform still in its infancy, and they are continuing to defy valuation concerns. And as far as I'm concerned, I think for the long term, this is certainly one of those companies that could be huge in the next 5, 10, 15, 20 years. And I think right now it's at the stage where the growth is starting to accelerate, and I think it could be a good stock to look at for due diligence and potential investment, especially for the long term. But let's have a look at the chart for the year to date, and we'll have a look at just for the period prior to May 2025 earlier this year. It was trading just above the $7.50 mark, and it has been in some tremendous momentum momentum since then. There was a pullback here on the Friday, just in excess of 8%. So we can see here currently trading at $19.02, but I think the momentum is certainly positive. So let's have a look at the news. So from investing.com, we can see here the stock price target has been raised to $26 from $18 at HC Wainwright. So they have looked at the company, they have looked at the details. So let's have a look at reasons why they have increased their price target, and they are stating here they're maintaining a buy rating on the stock. The company is being valued at approximately $8.7 billion, and obviously we've seen a surge of approximately 300% over the previous 12 months. So certainly in good momentum. So there is a predicted material outperformance in the coming months, with the third quarter results due in November. So keep an eye out on that. There was a significant beat in the previous earnings as well, and the revenue forecast of $214 million does not include contributions from the recent interactions and the corporate acquisition, and that could certainly be expected to add significantly to their revenue. So again, certainly a very, very strong and bullish outlook there from the analysts. So in terms of an overall summary here, we can see the company is at the forefront of the generative agentic AI transformation, driving experience and enterprise adoption with its Amelia 7 platform, which is certainly unique. They've also had a recent deployment with Apvia Cottage, and this is showcasing its ability to deliver productivity gains and compliance in highly regulated industries. They're also expanding enterprise partnership, looking at proprietary data accumulation, and the analysts have stated they're maintaining a buy rating on this, despite there is a potential high valuation, but I think people are pricing in the long-term growth for this. So let's now have a look at the dip. On Friday, the shares did go down at approximately 8.5%, and I believe that this could represent a possible buying opportunity. So one of the reasons why this happened is there was some insider sales, and this is obviously has led to the decline. So the insider sales were for a price just in excess of $21 per share for an amount of $128 million. So I think it looks like there was a little bit of profit taking there, but that's now potentially giving an opportunity for people to come in and buy at the dip. So let's have a look at from details from Seeking Alpha and what they are saying about the company. And they're saying here the company seems able to successfully scale its agentic AI platforms across multiple large enterprises and replicate the productivity gains across Apvia Cottage, and this makes the company extremely valuable. So the $131 million revenue, considering the total backlog, amounts to approximately $1.2 billion. So that's the backlog that the company has. So certainly no shortage of orders. And the scale of the TAM, in terms of the company is targeting, is how quickly it could realistically capture it, and the management estimates that the size of the opportunity to be around $140 billion. So I think huge potential there. In terms of the overall catalyst, we know that obviously they're involved in generative AI technology with audio recognition, and several retailers have also been deployed in terms of their products. And I think the company have also stated, which I think is extremely bullish here, that 7 of the top 10 global financial institutions are clients, and 4 of them have renewed their contracts. So extremely positive there. And what I would now like to share with you is the recent history of their income statement. I'd like you to draw your attention to the recent revenue growth from June 30th, 2025, where we saw revenue growth just in excess of 136.97%. We're bringing revenue up just in excess of 131 million. So we are expecting more growth there. I think one area of concern is the operating income, i.e. the company are not making a profit. They are obviously losing money, and that is because of heavy costs. And I think it's a case of in terms of if the revenue does keep on growing, then I think they eventually should be able to deal with that, as long as they keep an eye on their balance sheet and the assets. So let's have a look at an overall summary from the article. In terms of a takeaway, we can see the conclusion here strongly believes that the SoundHound AI platform stands to benefit from the network effects of adoption and data. So keep an eye on Siximal SOUN. And finally, let's have a look at the latest developments for MMTLP. So the first shout out here is to Curtis, who stated, I wonder what the SEC Chair Gary Gensler, Hoaxing Zhu, the Director of Trading and Markets, and Cyril, the Counsel for the Trading and Markets, were discussing with regard to FINRA's leadership team 2 weeks after the U3 halt of MMTLP. So there is a FOIA release, and there are 5 letters, or should we say 5 characters, that have been removed. And let's not pretend. Let's pretend it's not MMTLP, but let's have a look at an analysis that is also shared from Grok, which is the AI tool of X, and we can see the analysis from Grok is that based on the available evidence from the FOIA documentary Wrigley timelines and the contextual analysis, the probability that the redacted subject is related to December the 3rd, 2022, and also the SEC FINRA meeting email with regard to MMTLP is approximately 95%. So a strong amount of confidence there in Grok, and it looks like obviously there is more information now coming to light, especially after we know that Gary Gensler stated that his email records for significant periods and dates for this and his overall history have been deleted, removed, or corrupted, whatever he wants to say. And Curtis stated here, the exemption reasoning, exemption 5 protects the interagency or the agency memorandum or letters that would not be available by law to any other party other than an agency in litigation. So that's the only way you would officially get that, and it looks like potentially a deliberative process, privilege attorney or attorney privilege client or attorney work. But I think from the AI analysis we can clearly see it's most certainly MMTLP. So let's now follow on in terms of an upcoming FOIA space from Chris, who stated here, keep an eye out on Thursday, October the 23rd, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Save the date, where he's going to be inviting people to look at questions for the upcoming Ava AI FOIA space. So keep an eye out on that, and we'll see if there are any important updates. One important update from Rob Carter is shared the details of John Berder discussing the MMTLP fiasco, and this was at the People's Lobby, Missouri, and I think certainly they were all made aware. What I'd now like to do is give a shout out to Scipio, who shared some interesting posts with regard to FINRA, and he states here, looking for evidence, it could only get one piece. If you could only get one piece of evidence to prove FINRA's corruption, what piece of evidence would that be? If you were granted discovery, what Daniela stated is a verified screenshot of the corporate action on a Bloomberg terminal. I think that certainly also would be huge, and also a huge breakthrough. But I think what is most interesting post from Scipio is stated here is this is about to get good. Major development, I believe I've just been set free. So we'll have to wait for an update from him, which we're also expecting soon. But let's see what this major development is. Hopefully it's positive. Finally, thank you very much for watching. Please stay tuned.